Hey, what's up guys and gals? My name is Ricknineg. Today we're going to be talking about another movie. This one is Avengers Infinity War. Now I do have to let you know that there will be no spoilers, mostly in terms of the story. I don't want to spoil the story for you, and I'm going to be really cryptic in what I say because I'm going to try to give you as much information while giving you as little information as possible. That doesn't make any sense. But basically, I don't want to ruin the movie for you. I may refer to characters here and there, things like tone and setting, computer graphics, stuff like that, but I won't go into the storyline. I won't say what happens at the end or anything like that. So hopefully you enjoy this. Hopefully you have seen the movie. If you haven't, well, maybe this will convince you and I'll give you my I'll grade the movie at the end and tell you my thoughts on it. Of course, all the footage that I do use in the video is going to be from the trailers that were released months ago. I saw it on Saturday, 2 days right after it came out, and I was really excited. I even typed on my personal Facebook, this is going to be the biggest movie of all time. And I wasn't exaggerating because as of now, you can go and look it up, and it pretty much broke most records, and at least for the weekend, and it looks like it is going to reach that goal. And I'm not surprised at all because the movie was fantastic, let me tell you. Of course, it's the superhero genre of Marvel. This does not include Batman, Wonder Woman, or Superman, but includes the other guys, Hulk and Thor, Spider-Man, Captain America, Iron Man. There's so many people we can't even go through all of them. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Let's talk about this plan of yours. I think it's good, except it sucks.
This is all shown again in the trailers. Now, I have to tread lightly here, but I have to tell you that my favorite character was, of course, the villain. Now, here's something that's very interesting that I thought. I was a little worried how they would take care of the villain. The villain is, according to the comic books, one of the most powerful beings in the universe. And what's really interesting is the idea of how are they going to take care of this character? Was there going to be too much of the character on film, and would that deter people? Would that make the character too common? Because you've heard that before where it's like, well, if they use too much of the character, it kind of waters the character down, doesn't make him interesting. You got to make him mysterious. No. That is so untrue.
I hope they remember you.
I've seen a lot through the movie, mostly from the beginning, pretty much to the end. This is the film of the villain. And again, that's not really spoiling anything, but what is interesting is, again, that I think the story is so good that it really doesn't matter that you see a lot of the villain. Now, it's not overkill. It's not like he's in every single scene, and no, it's not that. But what I like is that some people are even talking about Star Wars and saying, well, the reason why that character was horrible was because they showed too much, or they showed too little of the character. Well, in this case, they showed a good amount of the character, and to me, it helped. And so that's something to keep in mind, as well as it's full of superheroes. So if you're a big superhero person, if you have kids, grandkids that love this type of movie, superheroes, I think they would like it. But I do have to give you a warning that this is a darker tone. Let me use that in a very cautious way. Darker tone. Don't expect what you're used to when you usually watch a Spider-Man, or we're not talking about Batman here, but we're talking about like a Spider-Man and Iron Man type movie. It's very different in tone, and yes, there are a lot of surprises, and I'll just leave it at that. The story is very, very good. It's very logical to follow. What I really liked, my mom went to see the movie, and this is interesting. She knows what Superman is, Spider-Man is, but she knows very little about like the stories and the origins. But she went to see the movie because she was just intrigued by the trailers, and she loved it. And yes, there were some things that maybe she didn't understand, like some little jokes.
I'm Peter, by the way.
Doctor Strange.
Oh, you're using your made-up names. Then I am Spider-Man.
And things that refer to previous movies, but it didn't matter. She loved the villain. She loved the depth of the story. She said it really surprised her how much she was into this movie. And again, my mom is not a fan of like comic book movies. I don't even want to get too much into it, but it's smart storytelling, and you can dissect a lot out of the story. You can analyze it. It's not just a flat story. It makes a lot of sense. And the little bit of exposition that is in the movie is really helpful to know what's going to happen and to explain what's happening if you have never seen the other 18 movies, which I think is really good because I know a few people, or I know a good amount of people who went to see this movie without seeing the first 18. So I would suggest to go see the others, but again, if that's too overwhelming, if you don't want to see the 18, go ahead and watch Avengers Infinity War. I think you'll be pleasantly pleased. The cast is amazing. I think by this time all the characters are pretty much solidified. Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. I think Spider-Man, Tom Holland, he did a fairly good job. Of course, Tobey's always my guy, but Tom Holland I think did great. My favorite though, of course, was Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange, I took a big liking to him with the Doctor Strange movie. I have to review that film because I was pleasantly surprised. I was never even really a Doctor Strange fan. But then seeing that movie, I was like, whoa. And so I really hope you do enjoy this film. Go out and take a watch. It's a good, I spent what, $9 to $10 on this movie. It's well worth $9 to $10, believe me. And hopefully you enjoy. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm going to grade this movie and give it an A because there was very few things I could complain about it. The only thing I could really say, it was 2.5 hours. So to some people, I've heard that was kind of long, but I was drawn into the movie. It didn't really bother me. I wanted to see a lot, and so I saw a lot, and I was satisfied. And so it was great. So I will give this movie an A. The only thing and negative point that I would say was that I can't really describe what, but there's kind of again, the darker tone was very different, and so that aura, I could feel it throughout the movie. It was just like a feeling. And that just left me unsettled, but maybe that was part of the movie. That was maybe what the movie was. And I don't think that's necessarily bad, but it took me off kilter a little bit. And it was something different. And so maybe that was uncharted territory. So I'll just leave it as that. Very cryptic, but I think you should go watch the movie and then you'll know what I'm talking about. Don't forget, guys and gals, to always stay positive and most importantly, be hopeful.